When it comes to sports in Lorain, your station to watch is TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television.
Ladies and gentlemen, this week the sports world was saddened by the sudden and tragic death of 9 special souls. Before we have our national anthem, we are going to ask you to join us as we pay our respects with 24 seconds of silence in honor of John Altabelli, Carrie Altabelli, Alyssa Altabelli, Christina Mauser, Ara Zobayan, Sarah Chester, Peyton Chester, Gigi Bryant, and basketball legend Kobe Bryant. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, please stand for the playing of our national anthem by the Lorain High School Pep Band under the direction of Mr. Timothy Civic.
For the thousands of wounded warriors returning from battle, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program, a unique program that helps wounded warriors translate their military experience to the civilian workplace. The Warriors to Work program also works with employers to find the right job for the right warrior. Contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
Every year, the Salvation Army serves nearly 30 million people in need. That's one person every second. So by the time you've finished watching this, 30 more lives will have been changed for good. All thanks to your donations.
Thank you.
From the Titan Gymnasium at Lorain High School on Ashland Avenue in Lorain, Ohio. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this very special sports presentation on WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television, and of course on their YouTube channel. You can follow TV 20 across all sorts of social platforms. Tim Elkhorn, Gary Pelter, and yes, the guy on the camera, he keeps it all rolling at TV 20, Joe Bach. You know how to spell that, Gary. B-O-C-K. That's right, Joe handling the camera duties as we get set to bring you varsity basketball on the boys' side. Lorain High taking on the Shaw Cardinals in a Lake Erie League matchup. And Gary, Lorain really needs a win. I was here for the game against Cleveland Central Catholic. Aaron Whitehead hit a half-court shot, in fact, a little bit beyond the half-court mark to beat Cleveland Central Catholic in overtime. But since then, Lorain has dropped 2 ball games. So they've lost 4 of their last 5, and the only win, that miracle win against Cleveland Central. So the Titans really need a victory, and Shaw comes into town having a very respectable campaign. They're 7-7 on the year.
Yeah, and those last 2 losses for the Titans, they were very close losses, and very well, a lot of things, those last 3 ball games could have gone either way, Tim.
But they were also low-scoring games, and certainly for John Rossitano, I'm sure one of the things that he wants to do is get Lorain back into their up-tempo offense. They like to get up and down the floor, so let's see if they can do that here against Shaw. Starting 5 for Lorain High, Aaron Whitehead, along with Jordan Jackson, Deontay Benejan, Aidan Brown, and Seth Wilson. And for Shaw, it'll be Joaquin Pampley, along with Deshaun Guthrie, Randy Harris, Laquem Latif, and Tavarian Sanders. Lorain controls the tip. We are underway. Let's play some basketball here at the Titan Gymnasium. Lorain has it. And as you can see, they're going right to left down the lane, and missing the shot was Seth Wilson. Boy, Shaw quickly to the other end, driving but missing was Joaquin Pampley. Long pass to the other end. Seth Wilson sends it to the left side. 3 ball no good, but a foul will put Jordan Jackson at the free throw line. But Gary, there's the pace that Lorain wants to play at. Let's get up and down the floor.
Well, that first possession, Tim, they came out and they spread it out. They had guys in the 4 corners, and Seth Wilson just took it to the basket. Didn't get the basket, but you're right. They did what they wanted to do. They move it up and down the floor a lot quicker, and they don't want that 40 to 50 point pace game. They want to speed it up a little bit.
So Jordan Jackson line left. As you can see, he hit the first, he hit the second, and Jordan was fouled on a 3 ball. So he's got 1 more coming. So Lorain's on the board, 2-0 with 1 more free throw. Good for Jordan Jackson. So a good trip to the stripe for Jordan Jackson, 6'5" senior. Lorain off to a 3-0 lead. Shaw to the other end. They swing it to the right side. Sanders bounce out front to Harris. Harris, guarded by Jackson, hands it off, and a 3 ball's off the mark for Guthrie. Rebound put back up, no good. And the rebound is then powered in by Tavarian Sanders. So that makes it a 3-2 ball game. But again, Lorain will push to the other end. Left of the lane, and now into the corner they feed it. And Benejan will head to the baseline and shoot it and miss it. Rebound, though, grabbed by Whitehead. Whitehead fakes the pass. Now he will hand it off. And the shot up by Jackson, no good, but he got fouled. So back to the free throw line goes Jordan Jackson.
And Lorain, right off the bat here, they're attacking the basket. Patience is not a virtue for the Titans so far in this ball game.
Well, the old saying, be quick but don't hurry. As Jordan Jackson is now a perfect 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Just underway here in Lorain. Great to be back. I was here a little over a week ago for Lorain and Cleveland Central Catholic, and of course Aaron Whitehead's half-court shot at the overtime buzzer that went viral. Well, you know you're having a good morning when people are texting you saying, hey, you're on Fox 8 News. I mean, it's big to be on TV 20 with Joe Bach.
The legendary Joe Bach.
Well, when Joe's video of that half-court shot was picked up by virtually everybody, and I was getting texted about it, and it did go viral. It was unbelievable. Here's Seth Wilson. Boy, a powerful move. Up and under, missed it. Rebound grabbed by Sanders. 5-2, Lorain with a 3-point lead. 6:10 to go here in the opening quarter. As that runner is no good from Pampley, but the rebound grabbed by the Cardinals. And that foul line shot is missed by Harris. Long pass down the floor. Wilson ahead of the pack. Wilson fires on the left side. Wide open 3. Perfect for Deontay Benejan. So the 3 ball from Benejan, and Lorain's off to an 8-2 lead. And Gary, just looking up at that scoreboard, 2.5 minutes off the clock, and Lorain already with 8 points. That's the pace they want to play at. 3 ball missed by Shaw. Lube Loose ball grabbed by Seth Wilson. Got it off to Aidan Brown. Brown ahead to Jordan Jackson. Now they get it in the corner to Whitehead, and he cans a three. When things are clicking early on for Lorain High, it's 11-2, and Shaw decides they're going to take a timeout. So there's not even 3 minutes off the clock, and Lorain has put 11 on the board. And they're getting up and down the floor, Gary, as my radio partner on the Cavaliers radio network likes to talk about pace. And the pace of the game right now is favoring Lorain High.
Yeah, and it took a little bit for Lorain to get their offensive game on track. They got their first 5 points via free throws, but then since then they've hit 2 3-pointers. And the Shaw Cardinals have yet to find their stroke offensively. They've only got 2 points in that one field goal by Sanders so far in the ball game.
So an early lead for the Titans, 11-2. Lorain trying to snap their 2-game losing streak. One thing you know for sure, John Rossitano will have his team ready and primed come tournament time. That's the trademark of a John Rossitano coach team. Shaw with the basketball off the timeout. Pampley on the left side, picked up by Whitehead. That's a 0-on-0 matchup. There's a 3 ball from the left corner. Boy, it rattled in and out, but a nice offensive rebound for Latif, and he banked it home. Lorain at the other end, but stepping on the sideline right in front of that Shaw bench was Deontay Benajan. And John Rossitano is going to make his first substitution. Here comes Jameer Billings, the defensive specialist for Lorain High. Although he can shoot it too, but with other offensive threats, Jameer's primary role is just to harass the other team into submission. He's a tremendous defensive player, and there's some pressure right there by Lorain High that forces a Shaw turnover.
And that's exactly what they want to do, John Rossitano. Get some defensive pressure, and they get the turnover that they want.
11-4 ball game. Devontae Jackson is also in for Lorain. Whitehead drives, scoops, missed. Rebound grabbed by Randy Harris. He's surrounded by Titans, and now he'll bring it up himself. Harris, right side, and there's a 3 ball that rolls in for Tavarion Sanders. So Sanders hits a 3 ball to make it 11-7. At the other end, Lorain answers with a 3 of their own. That's Billings. Well, I said he can shoot it if he's open. And now Lorain with a turnover. And up top, there's a 3 by Whitehead. Boy, the Titans just red hot from beyond the arc, and the lead is 10 at 17-7. Joe Carr now in for Shaw. And as Carr went up with the shot, he got fouled. Now John Rossitano is going to get Deontay Benajan back in the ball game. As Joe Carr, 5'10 junior, is at the line for Shaw. And he hits the first. Well, Joe Carr has his first point in the ball game. Aidan Brown will take a seat for Lorain. 3:54 to go, first quarter. Second free throw is good for Joe Carr. So he's got his first 2 points. 17-9, Lorain by 8. Titan basketball. Jackson put it up, missed it. Rebound grab by Shaw. And Lorain with pressure in the backcourt. There's a steal by Billings. Underneath, laying it up and in is Jackson. Boy, Jameer Billings, his first steal. It won't be his last. And there's another turnover by Shaw. Left side Billings. He'll unload a 3. In and out and back in again.
Now that's a shooter's roll.
With Jameer Billings making his presence felt, and another steal by Lorain. Another 3 ball by the Titans. Benajan hits that one from Oberlin Avenue. 25-9. Boy, Lorain with an explosion here in the first quarter of play. 16-point lead for the Titans. And the Cardinals say, my goodness, we've got to put a stop to this. Boy, looking at my score sheet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that correct, Gary? 7 3 balls for Lorain.
I believe you are correct, sir.
Wow. 25-9. Lorain High. Well, 7 would be 21. It might be 6.
I got 6.
Yeah.
I got 6 on here.
2. Correct. Yep, 6. 6 3 balls for the Titans. So they lead it 25-9. Hey, the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame will have their annual fundraiser. It's a steak fry on Sunday, March 8th from 4 to 7 at the Amherst Eagles, located on Milan Avenue in Amherst. Dinner, $25 per ticket. But listen to what that includes. A steak, baked potato, salad, roll, beverage, and dessert. And $5 of that ticket price goes towards a 50-50 raffle. That's a great deal. A basket raffle also will be held. The athletic department has tickets for anyone that is interested. So again, that's Sunday, March 8th, 4 to 7 at the Amherst Eagles. Boy, Lorain's defense creating turnovers and then hot shooting. And Shaw with another turnover as Titan pressure forced the Cardinals into a bad pass. Boy, this is just what the doctor ordered for Lorain High, trying to break a 2-game losing streak. Benajan, 3, good. There's number 7. And number 3 in the ball game for Deontay Benajan. And Lorain almost forced another turnover. Here comes Shaw into the forecourt. Billings stole the ball. Billings to the other end. Got his shot blocked, but there to scoop it up and drop it home is Seth Wilson for his first 2. 30-9. Right corner, 3, air ball from Joe Carr. And we've got a whistle, and it went out of bounds off of Lorain High.
Tim, not only is Lorain forcing turnovers, they're turning them into like instant points. There's probably most of these times that there hasn't been more than 2 or 3 ticks off the clock before they've gotten a basket out of it.
And that's why coaches absolutely abhor turnovers, because you lose a possession and you give the opposing team another possession, like right there. Billings to the forecourt, stops, hands it off, putting it up and in was Devontae Jackson, and Devontae fouled in the process. So after Lorain hits 7 3 balls, we're going to get an old-fashioned three-point play attempt. 32-9. Now, one thing that Joe Bach did tell me tonight, boy, I'm glad to hear it, is that I'm being paid by the point. So Lorain High at 32 already with 2:28 to go. No, I'm teasing. So Devontae Jackson, he's got 5. Boy, Deontay Benajan with 9, Aaron Whitehead with 6, Billings with 6, Devontae Jackson with 5, Lorain with 33 overall. They've blown this one wide open early. 33-9, still 2.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter of play. Seth Wilson knocks the inbounds pass out of bounds. Boy, Shaw cannot figure out this Lorain pressure defense. Quick inbounds goes to Randy Harris. And Harris gives it up to Tomlinson, who's now in the ball game. Left of the lane shot off the glass by Harris, no good. Ball out of bounds, and it belongs to Lorain High. And now Shaw says, well, you pressure us, we'll apply a little bit of pressure in the backcourt, although certainly doesn't hamper Lorain as they come to the forecourt. On the right side, Billings, there's a 3. He's got another one. Jameer Billings. Well, he's known for his defensive prowess, but he's lighting it up tonight, and there's Shaw with another turnover. 36-9. Here comes the big guy, Aidan Brownback, in for Lorain High. Well, when you're having a quarter like this, that bucket looks like the size of a pond. Billings left side had his pass deflected, and out of there with it comes Shaw. And going back and blocking the shot, Jordan Jackson. Left of the lane, shot put up no good. Rebound off to Seth Wilson. Wilson into the forecourt, down the left side, 3 ball. Missed that one. Long rebound, though. Comes to Jordan Jackson, fed it underneath to Seth, and Seth Wilson laid it up and in. Boy, everybody in on the act. At the other end, driving and missing was Pampley. Here comes Seth Wilson in the forecourt for Lorain. Seth bounces it behind him to Billings. 3-ball. That one missed. That may have been a heat check shot by Jameer Billings. Kind of has a grin on his face as Shaw heads to the other end. Pampley left of the lane, hits the brakes, threw it out front, and Seth Wilson stole the ball. Seth spinning his way out of traffic. Long pass down the floor. Baseline left to Devontae Jackson. Gave it up, and Jordan Jackson's 3 rattled in and out. They can't all go in, Lorain. 38-9, but boy, a lot of them have here in the first quarter of play.
It was looking like it for a minute, though, Tim.
Yeah, from up here in the press box. I mean, it was halfway down and popped out. Shaw with the basketball. And boy, Lorain with that unrelenting pressure. Shot put up on the right side by Latif, no good. Rebound put back up, no good. There's also a lid on that basket for Hayes, or for Shaw, as the shot went up from Harris, missed it. Out of there with it, Billings lobs to Seth. Seth laid it up, missed it, but it's tipped back up and in by Aidan Brown. Lorain with a 40-point first quarter. Half-court shot at the buzzer, no good for Shaw, and that ends the first period. A Titan onslaught here in the first 8 minutes. 40-9. Lorain leading at the end of one. Quarter number 2 follows this timeout on WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television.
We make Marines who overpower the desire to quit with the perseverance to prevail. Not for glory, but for honor. For a code that isn't written or spoken, but lived. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's the battle cry of our fighting spirit. Battles won. See all the battles Marines fight to win at marines.com.
Ohio State is saving lives every day.
This is Ohio State.
We're the economic engine of the state.
A major employer.
Over 60,000 students. We're on the forefront of cancer research. An educational core of Ohio.
Impacting tens of thousands daily.
Our alumni organization is nearly 500,000 worldwide.
This is Ohio State.
This is Ohio State.
Ohio State.
This is the Ohio State University.
Lorain with 8 3-balls in that first quarter, and that ties a school record for the Titans. They hit 8 3-balls against EC in a quarter last year. So a school record 8. 40-9 Titans as we start the second quarter. Well, you can tell Shaw is feeling Lorain bodies there even when they aren't there. Although in the lane, Devarion Sanders with a bucket to make it 40-11. But that's what pressure can do. Left of the lane, Aidan Brown with a hook shot that misses. A rebound grabbed by Joe Carr. Down the floor to Sanders, and he gets it right of the lane to Tomlinson, but he missed the shot. Deontay Benajan had it, lost it, and then Tomlinson fouled by Aidan Brown as he went up.
You can almost see, Tim, that the way that Lorain has been scoring, that Shaw feels every possession is that much more important, and they're almost, you can see they're almost tight when they're up there offensively, feeling like they have to make this basket.
And again, feeling pressure that most often is there, but sometimes even isn't there. First free throw and a big bounce off the rim, and it falls through for Tomlinson. He got a nice roll right there. But that's like walking through a haunted house. You're constantly looking for something that isn't there, and it makes you even more jumpy. Is that a good analogy, Gary?
I don't know. You get jumpy in them haunted houses?
Well, sure. Who doesn't?
I don't.
Come on.
I don't go to haunted houses.
Well, there you go. Because you're jumping all over the place. Seth Wilson fouled, left of the lane. I mean, you walk through and you're looking for something to come beyond the door or something to jump out of a mirror. I was at the Cedar Point Haunted Weekends one time, and we walked into this room, and everything was polka dots, black and white polka dots. And I was like, everything's black and white polka dots. And I walked real close to this polka dot wall, and this guy just lunged at me. He was nothing but polka dots. I was like, oh, man, I'm not doing this anymore. Seth Wilson hit both free throws. 6-point game for Seth. 42-12. There's a steal by Seth. He'll stop. 3-ball short. Rebound kept alive, though, by the Titans. They've got a 30-point lead. Left wing three, perfect. Benajan is just on fire. He's got a 12-point first half, and they're all from beyond the arc. 4 3-balls. Shaw to the other end, and run of the lane. It was Isaiah Smith who got fouled, so our first chance to see Smith, 6'2" junior. Lorain with a 33-point lead. Gary, I was here for the Cleveland Central game. Whitehead hit the half-court shot at the buzzer. Lorain won it 40-39, so they've already scored more points than they had in that game. Coming off a loss to Bedford on Tuesday, in which they had 37 in that game. So it's all about tempo for Lorain High as the second free throw is missed by Smith. But we're going to get a lane violation on Lorain.
I don't know if it was a lane violation or just tipped out of bounds by Tomlinson or by Jackson.
So it's Shaw basketball. And they finally get it in. And a nice turnaround bank shot by Smith. So Smith makes it 45-15. I'll bet you Joe Bach goes into haunted houses. He's got to love those things. He doesn't scare easy. Hesitation on the baseline. Shot missed by Benajan. Here comes Shaw. But Lorain with the 30-point cushion. There's a steal by Seth Wilson. Wilson up the right side. Oh, spins away from the defender. In the lane to Brown, who got sandwiched. Right there, folks, is why Seth Wilson has orally committed to West Virginia to play for Bob Huggins. Man, he put it all on display. The spin move, the good pass. He's a dynamic player. Of course, missed plenty of action earlier this year.
I'll tell you what, though, Brown had a couple of Cardinals collapse right on top of him when he was ready to take that shot.
Aidan Brown hits the first free throw, so Aidan now with 3. Brown, 6'5" junior. Sends that second one up and rolled it around the rim and in. So Aidan Brown hit them both. He's got 4. 2 minutes off the second quarter clock. And Lorain High has come out roaring here on their home floor. Of course, as we record this on January 31st, hard to believe it's the last day of January. Into the lane, shot put up, no good by Tomlinson. Rebound went over the basket, or I should say over the backboard and out of bounds. And it will belong to Shaw. John Rossitano saying they're the ones who hit it over the backboard.
He's not going to win that argument.
Especially when you're up 32. 5:45 to go here in the half. Left of the lane, into the lane. There's another shot. That one may have been partially deflected by Aidan Brown. Loose ball grabbed by Whitehead, and then he threw it off a Shaw Cardinal out of bounds. Hard to believe that, as I said, as we tape this, we're January 31st, so we're getting towards stretch time for the high school basketball regular season, entering the month of February. Tournament time not too far away. As Lorain has it offensively. There's a cross-court pass. My goodness, Jordan Jackson threw that one about 8 rows deep. He certainly didn't look like that on the football field. Most of his throws were pretty accurate.
That literally hit the 5th bleacher, Tim. And nobody tried to catch it either. They were moving out of the way.
Harold Carmichael couldn't have gotten up and got that one. There's a name from NFL past. Boy, left wing 3 right on the mark. Well done.
Goal number 17.
Tampley with his first points of the ball game. You remember his nickname as Whitehead drives and scores?
I will once you say it.
Left of the lane, and the ball got knocked out of the hands of Smith. Here comes Lorain High into the forecourt. Is Deontay Benajan out front three. Whitehead cans it. Whitehead with his third bomb of the night. John Rossitano says, let's get a 30 and talk things over. And I'm sure the guys are going to say, what's there to talk about? John's going to say, just keep doing what you're doing. 52-18. Lorain with a 34-point lead. We're about midway through the second quarter. Tim Elkhorn, Gary Pelter, and again, a huge thank you to Joe Bach, B-O-C-K, for having me come on back into Lorain County and join him and everybody here in Lorain on WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television. The YouTube channel is up to 1.6, is that correct, Joe? 1.7? Oh, you grew 100,000 since last week when I was here. Pelt at 100,000 a week. They're going to be at 52 million over a year. If my math is correct.
He's racking up the numbers, Joe Bach is.
He does an unbelievable job. And he coordinates it all out of the Keebler Studios. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Gary, have you seen the Keebler Studios?
I have not seen the actual studios.
How tall are you?
How tall am I? About 5'10" on a real good day.
Well, then you're not going to make it into the Keebler Studios. 4:41 to go first half, 52-18.
I have to get hunched over.
Danny DeVito, he could fit in the Keebler Studios. 52-18, Shaw with the ball off the timeout, and a nice coast-to-coast drive by Pampley. He went all the way to the bucket to make it 52-20. Seth Wilson threw it out front, but it's a turnover. And at the other end, shot put up, no good. May have been a goaltend miss there, but Shaw will end up shooting 2 free throws.
I was going to say, I thought Jordan Jackson might have got a fingertip on that.
I think he did. So that's going to put Pampley at the line shooting 2. So back to Harold Carmichael. You still don't recall the nickname, huh? 6'9" receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. Caught a lot of balls from Ron Jaworski. Harold Stretch Carmichael.
Oh, all right.
Remember that, Joe Bach? Stretch Carmichael. I mean, all Jaworski had to do was throw it about 4 inches above the DB's head, and there was Stretch to make the catch. As free throw rolled in by Pampley. Pampley now with 6 points in the ball game. Lorain with the basketball. They have dominated this one from the get-go. They lead it 52-21. So Lorain, unless there's an epic collapse, looks like they're well on the way to breaking that 2-game losing streak. Out front, Aaron Whitehead got held.
Yeah, the Shaw Cardinals have just, with that last free throw, eclipsed half of what Lorain had in the first quarter.
I forgot to write that first quarter score down. What was it at the end?
It was 40-9 in favor of Lorain.
See, I'm used to getting those stat sheets in between quarters.
You've been spoiled.
To say the least. In the right corner, 3 right on the mark from Benajan. How about 5 3-balls for Benajan? Leads all scorers with 15 and all from beyond the arc. Right of the lane, nice little body English there from Pampley to score. Makes it 55-23, 3.5 minutes to go in the half. They get it down low and a nice up and under move, but the shot missed by Devontae Jackson, but Devontae got it back, put it in, and a chance for an and one. Well, I'm not sure what was preached this week after that Tuesday night loss to Bedford, but whatever John Rossitano told his team Wednesday and Thursday, it has paid big dividends here tonight. A 34-point lead for Lorain and still 3.5 to go here in quarter number 2. Jackson completes the 3-point play. He's got 8. Again, Benajan leads Lorain with 15. Aaron Whitehead with 11. Jameer Billings with 9. Devontae Jackson with 8. Everybody's getting in on the act. And that's when things are going well. When everybody's contributing, everybody feels like hey, I'm a part of this. Well, there's a blatant push off by Sanders, but he ended up losing the ball anyway.
Sanders is a big fella out there.
Yeah, he pushes you off. You feel it. Feel like you pushing me off. I'd go halfway down Broadway. In the left corner, Whitehead, 3-ball. Nope. Rebound grab by Shaw. Up the right side, White, he drives and scores. Carlos White took it all the way to make it 58-25. Driving reverse layup, hung on the rim and fell through for Benajan. Well, that's his first 2-point field goal tonight. He's got 17. Lorain was 60. Ooh, there's a collision. They better call that one, as that foul will be on Lorain High's Aaron Whitehead. It's going to get Seth Wilson and Jordan Jackson back in for Lorain. Devontae Jackson and Aaron Whitehead will check in. By the way, Gary, we have to send out a huge thank you to our great friend Pam Jackson. Supplied us with popcorn during pregame. She was watching the replay of Lorain High and Cleveland Central and how I was complaining. At least that's how she said it, as the 3-ball is made in the left corner by Smith. That she brought up those terrific sausages, but I couldn't eat them because I was doing play-by-play. It was during the game. So she's like, Tim, as Jackson got fouled on his way to the basket, Tim, this time I'm going to make sure you get your food before you have to talk. How about that, Pam Jackson? She's been waiting 10 days to bring me the popcorn during the pregame. And then she's like, yeah, I better get Bach some or he'll be mad at me too. So, Pam, we made sure that Joe got his as well. And that's Popcorn, popcorn for Joe Bach.
And it was delicious.
It was, man. It was a good box of popcorn. Hats off to the folks down in the concession area. Free throws split by Jordan Jackson. He now has a 5-point game. Jameer Billings back in. There's another steal, but Seth Wilson had his pocket picked. Into the forecourt. Nice behind the back dribble by Sanders. Got it down low. And Pampley with a chance for an and one. Boy, how about Sanders, the big fella, with the behind the back dribble. And then he was able to find Pampley. Pampley with a chance for a 3-point play.
He's not just a big man down in the post, Tim.
Sanders going over to have a talk with Coach Reggie Harwell. Reggie saying, Tavarion, you're a big man. Not sure I want you doing that behind the back dribble stuff all the time. 61-31 as the 3-point play was converted. But it was smooth. Aidan Brown fumbles it down low. Long pass down the floor. Pampley drives and scores. Seeing right here about a minute and a half to go in the first half. Lorain's up 61-33. But I'm sure John Rossitano saying, let's not lose our focus. Like right there. Seth Wilson got his pocket picked, and Pampley drives and lays it in. Boy, Pampley's got a 15-point game. And this is where teams, you just tend to lose focus. You have such a big lead as the passes underneath to Aidan Brown, and he powered it up and in. So Aidan Brown was 6. And Billings harassing Sanders as we're now under a minute to go in the half. But Carlos White with a layup left of the lane. And it's not that Lorain would look to embarrass Shaw, but you have to keep playing hard. And there's another turnover by Lorain. I'm sure this is going to bother John when they get to the locker room. Left of the lane, driving and missing was Sanders. And out of there with it comes Jordan Jackson. He got fouled in the backcourt. For Shaw, a foul is on Sanders. That'll be his second. Shaw is up to 19 fouls.
Shaw is 37 points right now, and through the course of a normal ball game, that's not a bad halftime total.
They're on pace for over 70.
That's right, but Lorain's on a bigger pace than that right now.
Come on, Gary. Admiral King Education, 126.
Well, I wasn't going to say that.
First free throw up and in by Jordan Jackson. He's got a 6-point game, all at the free throw line. Jordan does not have a field goal. And he rattles that second one in. 7 for Jordan Jackson. Well, the scoreboard has him for 8. I have him 7 of 8 at the free throw line. I thought he missed one.
I got a miss because I was listening to you.
Yeah, I thought he had a miss. We'll add up our scores. Again, it's the score book that's official, not the scoreboard. No, I'm not the official score book. 7 on the clock. Running shot in the lane, no good. Rebound Shaw. They'll try to beat the clock as they head to the forecourt. Right of the lane, driving and missing was a Shaw Cardinal whose name I don't have in the roster. But in the meantime, it is all Lorain High at the half. They are putting on a show after scoring 40 in the first quarter of play. They come back with only 25 in the second quarter of play, and they lead it 65-37 at the half. We'll be back. We'll bring you the start of the second half following this timeout on WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television.
Sergeant Michelle Garcia served meritoriously in Iraq and has the medals to prove it. Soon after leaving the Navy, Lieutenant Chris Scott found a job, a home, and started a family of his own. Corpsman Richard Stokely took the skills he learned in Vietnam and put them to good use as a paramedic. But soon after leaving the military, each of these veterans fell on hard times and faced homelessness. Even after Michelle lost all her savings, even after Chris wasn't able to pay his mortgage, and even after Richard battled alcoholism for years, they each reached out for help when they needed it most. A simple phone call put them in touch with a trained professional from the Department of Veterans Affairs. That call got Michelle a place to stay until she could afford one of her own, put Chris in touch with employment assistance, and found Richard a substance abuse program. These veterans are success stories not only for how they were able to help others while serving their country, but for how they were able to let others help them. If you know of or are a veteran in need, make the call.
Hey Luda, got a sec?
Yeah, what's up?
I'm really worried. One of my friends is living on the street.
I know someone who can help.
Who?
1-800-RUNAWAY.org. They help kids having a rough time at home, in school, or on the street. You can do a live chat on their site. They will help get her to safety.
Thanks, Ludacris.
Trust the National Runaway Switchboard. If you're having a hard time, get online or call to chat now.
Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, "No thanks, not my thing."
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
In an instant, life can change. Hi, I'm veteran J.R. Martinez. If you've been hurt or disabled due to your service, the last thing you need to do is hurry up and wait for a VA claims decision. Make sure you file an electronic, fully developed claim, or e-claim, for disability compensation on e-benefits. It's the fastest and easiest way to get a claims decision. Learn more at ebenefits.va.gov. E-claims and e-benefits, online VA claims made simple.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah, it's for a nicer day, huh?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Gonna get some big ones. Anybody want to wear a life jacket?
Man, I'm good.
No life jacket? That's a deal breaker.
Daddy, you promised.
Daniel Stevens.
Yeah, give me one of those life jackets.
This message brought to you by the National Safe Boating Council and the women who nag you. Love you.
Second half about to get underway. It is all Lorain High, 65-37. Lorain High leading Shaw at the end of 2 quarters. Boy, if you're just tuning this one in on WLCS TV 20 or on the YouTube channel, make sure you catch it the next time it's on, because you're going to want to see the first quarter from Lorain when they came out and had an explosion of 8 3-balls and 40 points in the first quarter alone. And then Lorain did outscore Shaw 25 Actually, I'd take that back. So it would have been Shaw outscoring Lorain 28-25 in that second quarter of play. Tim Elkhorn, Gary Pelter, Joe Bach, B-O-C-K. We're running the camera down below us. Joe and I are going to be spending some time together for that Garfield Heights matchup here at Lorain on February 13th. Joe's got me scheduled all day long. I'm not used to these long days anymore. My goodness. And here on the near side, Aaron Whitehead on the dribble for Lorain, just lost it out of bounds. Here's your scoring leaders as we start the second half. Deontay Benajan with 17, Aaron Whitehead with 11, and Jameer Billings with 9 for Lorain. As at the other end, there's a nice shot put up by Pampley, and he scores. At the other end, though, driving and scoring is Aaron Whitehead. So Aaron Whitehead answers for Lorain High. He's got 13 points in the ball game. Pampley now at 17. Left corner three ball, and it's right on the mark from Lachlan Latif. So Latif makes it 67-42. Seth Wilson into the lane, rumbles to the basket, and the left-handed shot is good. Seth Wilson now with 8 points, makes it 69-42, and there's a shot block. Well, maybe not. Maybe it just went off of Pampley out of bounds.
I think you are correct, Tim.
So Lorain gets it with a 27-point lead. We talked during the opening, boy, Lorain really needed a victory tonight, as they had lost 2 straight. Out front, Whitehead fouled. And it very easily could have been 5 straight, because they lost 2 in a row before that half-court miracle shot by Aaron Whitehead to beat Cleveland Central, and then lost 2 straight after that. So it would have been a 5-game losing streak if not for that half-court shot. Lorain turns it over, and at the other end, Joe Carr with a miss. Here comes Whitehead to the other end. Whitehead into the lane, put it up and in, and he got fouled. And Aaron Whitehead with a chance for a 3-point play. And for Shaw, that's going to get Carlos White back in the ball game. He had a 4-point first half.
Tim, I think it's going to be interesting for Lorain here in this third quarter with the big lead if they can keep their intensity up.
Well, that's what I was talking about at the end of the first half. That, again, you're not trying to rub it in. You're not trying to be unsportsmanlike, but you don't want to lose that intensity. As you just said, Gary, you don't want to lose that focus. But it's challenging when you have such a huge lead. Kids see the scoreboard. As tying up Pampley was Aidan Brown. The possession arrow will belong to Shaw.
I think they wanted a travel with Pampley, but they're going to call a tie-up. He did take a couple of steps there.
He did. But Aidan did have his hands on the basketball. So I think we'll give the officials the benefit of the doubt. There's a fall-away shot that's missed by Sanders. Jackson, long pass down the floor to Benajan. Benajan, crossover dribble, jumper, no good. Rebound grab by Shaw. And again, that last possession by Lorain, I think that's an example, Gary, where John Rossitano still wants to see ball movement. He wants to see Lorain execute their offense. That was just a quick shot down the floor. In the lane, shot put up no good by Smith. But following and converting is Sanders. So here's Seth Wilson on the right sideline. Seth out front. Now he'll work his way into the lane, and the ball got taken away from him. 3-on-1, and Shaw to the other end. Shot missed, tipped up, no, and there's another jump ball, and this time the possession arrow will belong to Lorain High. 5:28 to go, third quarter. Lorain High here on their home floor, taking on the Shaw Cardinals in a Lake Erie League matchup. Lorain at 4-3 in the conference. Whitehead left of the lane, scooping shot missed, tipped up no by Brown. Brown got it back though, got it out front to Benajan, down the right side to Whitehead. Whitehead lob on the right side, Benajan, rainbow three, missed that one. Rebound grabbed on the end line by Randy Harris for Shaw. Well, that ball had a lot of arc on it. I'll have to go back and watch that on TV 20 to see if Joe Bach kept up with the arc. Had to really tilt the camera.
Are you saying it might have gone out of shot?
There you go. White got fouled as he went up. It's funny, I'm thinking back to all those TV production classes that I had at Lorain County Community College and Kent State. I remember dolly left, dolly right, truck left, truck right, pan left, pan right. What is it up and down, Joe? Tilt. That's it. Tilt up, tilt down. Hey, man, I was in college almost 40 years ago. That's not bad to remember all those things. Of course, all I did was end up talking. So far, it's treated me okay, though.
And then there was the end. Fade to black.
Well, let's hope that's not for a while. Carlos White splits the 2 free throws. And at the other end, there's a drive and a miss by Aidan Brown. But the ball comes off to Seth Wilson, and Seth popped it home. Well, Seth's in double figures with 10. And did Lorain force a turnover? No, but boy, Jameer Billings almost created another one. He is so active. My goodness. Shaw with the basketball. They get it down the floor. Shot high off the glass, no, but we're going to have a whistle and a foul. Smith will head to the free throw line. That foul on Lorain High was called on Aidan Brown. And with 4:22 to go in the third quarter of play, we'll have free throws for the Shaw Cardinals. First one on the way, short. And there will be one more coming for Smith. He missed the second. Rebound grab by Lorain. Jameer Billings up the right side, tried to shoot it down the floor to Seth Wilson, and the ball got knocked out of bounds by Carlos White. I'll say this, Gary. The Shaw Cardinals, to their credit, have continued to play hard. I mean, they just got buried in an avalanche of 3 balls by Lorain in that first quarter, but they have not just said, well, let's get on the bus and get home. They've continued to compete.
When you're down 40-9 after the first quarter, that's tough.
Whitehead with a left-handed shot that's off the mark, with the ball taken away by Lorain High. Jackson down in the corner, Whitehead, 3, no. Rebound poked out front, out of there with it come the Cardinals, and now triple teamed in front of the Lorain bench, but it's Shaw with the basketball, not for long. Whitehead down the floor to Wilson, laid it up and in. And John Rossitano says, let's take a full timeout. 75-45, the lead's back to 30 for Lorain. 3:45 to go here in the third quarter of play. I want to remind you one more time about the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame and their annual fundraiser steak fry on Sunday, March 8th, 4 to 7 at the Amherst Eagles, located on Milan Avenue in Amherst. Dinner, $25 per ticket. But man, what a deal. Steak, baked potato, salad, roll, beverage, and dessert. $5 of the ticket price goes towards a 50-50 raffle. A basket raffle also will be held. The athletic department has tickets for anyone that is interested. So get a hold of our good friend Brian Corey in the athletic department. 75-45. So Lorain rolling tonight here on their home floor. And Gary, as I said, for the Titans, they needed this. Now, of course, they've got Maple Heights coming up, along with Cleveland Heights, Garfield Heights. So there's a rugged schedule. How about this throwback song? I love this song. Cornelius Brothers and Sister
Rose.
Rose, yes. Wow. Too late to turn back now. Forget the game. Let's just keep hearing this song. Who's playing that music, Joe? Who? Steve? Hey, Steve, when you watch this on TV 20, big shout out for the Cornelius brothers and Sister Rose. That's awesome. When's the last time you heard that in a gym?
How about a little treat her like a lady?
That's a good one, too. Wow. Bucket by Shaw. Taken away. Long inbounds. Down the floor to Devontae Jackson. He drives and finger rolls it in. So Devontae now in double figures with 10. Again, Benejan still leading Lorain with 17. There's a miss by Shaw. Pass flinged down the floor to Seth. 3-ball, perfect. Seth Wilson, all of a sudden, he's at 15 points in the ball game. And Lorain with some pressure in the backcourt. Ball knocked out of bounds by Jordan Jackson. Look at John Rossitano as Joe picked him up on the camera. High-fiving Jordan Jackson. And again, he's not trying to run it up. He's not trying to be unsportsmanlike. He's simply trying to keep that intensity up, as you talked about it, Gary. You don't want to see your team just say, okay, we got another quarter and 3 minutes. We'll just get sloppy. He does not want to see that. And that's also getting you ready for tournament time.
Yeah, and they've had, like you said, they've had 5 tough ball games, and they want to do some things that are going to help them down the line. So they want to, once they got rolling, they want to keep that intensity going and keep that solid play going, Tim.
Nice shot from the left corner by Carlos White. Oh, White hits the 3-ball. And Carlos White now with an 8-point ball game. At the other end, a 3 from the corner is missed by Lorain High's Devontae Jackson. Ball goes out of bounds, and it belongs to the Titans. You know, Gary, I see the Shaw Cardinals here tonight, and I'm having flashbacks. I couldn't tell you what year it was, but it was the only time I ever did a football game at Shaw. Seth Wilson, right corner, Jackson, 3, no. Rebound, Jordan, no, put it up and in. So Jordan Jackson off a Devontae Jackson miss. And now Billings creating havoc in the backcourt. And there's a steal by Jackson. Gave it off to Jackson, laid it up, no. Rebound Wilson, bank shot, good. Seth Wilson all of a sudden was 17. And it's 84-48. And Shaw is going to take a timeout with 2:10 to go. So I'll continue my story. I don't remember what year it was, but we went over to Shaw, meaning we as WEOL, the radio station, and Saturday afternoon we did Elyria High and Shaw. And I saw one of the greatest high school halftime band performances I've ever witnessed. The Shaw Band is just off the charts good. And again, I remember it only because here in Lorain County, and especially at WEOL, you know, we're focusing on Lorain County teams, and we try to, well, I shouldn't say we anymore, should I? WEOL tries to get those Lorain County matchups. So as far as I know, I think that was the only time the radio station ever went to Shaw. And I remember being mesmerized by that band performance. Joe, I'm sure you've seen a lot of them over the years. Are they still that good? Yeah, I mean, they're legendary. Just a great show. Shaw off the inbounds. Pampley's had a nice game with 17. Feeds it down in the corner, and that 3-ball's good from Carlos White. And he's in double figures with 11. Right of the lane. Shot up and in, and a foul. Boy, everybody contributing for Lorain High. That's Devontae Jackson. He's got a dozen and a chance for 13 at the free throw line. And I'll tell you what. Now, we've done a lot of Lorain High football games over the years. And, of course, back to Admiral King. Their halftime performances have been lights out as well. They have been tremendous over the years. Devontae Jackson hits that free throw. 87-51. And the pass down low goes off the fingers of Smith out of bounds. That'll get Joe Carr back in for Shaw. And the Lorain High Pep Band was very lively here tonight in the gym. Did a great job with the national anthem.
Yeah, they did a nice job this evening.
Lorain by 36. Unless they literally hold the ball in the fourth quarter, in all likelihood, they'll hit the century mark here tonight. Foul out front on Shaw. Speaking of the national anthem real quick here, I did want to say, boy, it was just unbelievably classy, and what a great gesture by the folks here in Lorain. They had 24 seconds of silence as a tribute to Kobe Bryant and the 8 others, including his daughter, who perished in just that awful helicopter crash on Sunday. Shaw to the other end gets a bank shot good from Pampley. But it was, and still is, just shocking to everybody as Whitehead got knocked down out front. And boy, he's holding that left knee. Let's hope he just knocked knees with somebody. As Whitehead now trying to get up. 1:14 to go here in the third quarter of play, but it was very, very touching here in the Titan gym tonight. Well, they had that 24 seconds of silence, and of course, I was able to see that at the NBA level for a couple of games, Monday in Detroit, and then of course when the Cavs came home on Tuesday, the Cavs production team and everybody at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse did a great job in the tribute to Kobe Bryant. But I just wanted to tip my cap to the folks here in Lorain. That was very, very well done before the ball game.
Yeah, they did a nice job. They named all the victims.
Yes, right. And you know what? You tend to lose sight of the fact that as much as everybody talks about Kobe and his daughter, and that's incredibly tragic. I'm not shortchanging that, but there were 7 others on that helicopter. Driving and missing was Jordan Jackson, and unbelievably tragic for them as well. At the other end, we got a dunk from Joe Carr. So Joe Carr makes it 87-55. Left corner 3 ball rattles in and out for Devontae Jackson. Seth grabs it, shoots it, bounces around the rim and out. Rebound Randy Harris. Harris got knocked down, and the foul will be called on Lorain High. It's on Seth Wilson.
Is it just me, Tim, or does this quarter seem really long?
Yeah, it's been dragging. And I really don't know. Well, Shaw's had 6 fouls. Boy, there's a steal by Billings. My goodness. Steal and bucket for Jameer. He's got 11. He is just fun to watch defensively. He almost had another one. Left side of the forecourt, there's a 3 ball, and it rattles in for Joe Carr. That's his first 3 of the night. He's got 7 points overall. Seth Wilson, left of the basket, underneath the hoop with a reverse layup. That's good. Boy, Seth, he's at a 13-point third quarter. 91-58. At the other end, a miss, follow and a miss. 6 on the clock, and fouled in the backcourt was Devontae Jackson. Again, if you just dial this one in on TV 20 or on the YouTube, you missed the first couple of quarters. Lorain roared out to a 40-9 lead at the end of one. They hit a school-tying record 8 3-balls in that first quarter. They cooled off a little bit in the second. Yeah, they only scored 25 in the second quarter. Still led 65-37 at the half. And now after that first free throw from Jackson and make it 2, they lead it 93-58. 2-1, and a block shot by Jameer Billings to close out the third quarter of play. And Lorain having fun on their home floor here tonight, closing in on the century mark. 93-58. Lorain by 35 at the end of 3 on WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television.
Opportunities present themselves every day. Opportunities that move us forward. Opportunities to serve part-time in your community while continuing their full-time careers or education to help keep our nation safe at home and around the globe. Explore your opportunities in the Air Force Reserve.
93-58. It's all Lorain as we start the fourth quarter of play here at the Titan Gym. Tim Elkhorn, Gary Pelter, just like Peaches and Herb, reunited. And Joe Bach on the camera. Although I saw Gary just the other night at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Boy, you offer a guy tickets. It's amazing how he'll text you right back. You text him for any other thing, 3 days later you hear from him. At the other end.
Sometimes
missed by Jackson.
It's an hour or two because I'm not up yet.
And that's at 3 o'clock. 93-38. Or 93-58, I should say. A 35-point lead for Lorain.
Yeah, that third quarter for Lorain, they once again got back on track, outscoring the Shaw Cardinals 28-19.
Out front, Billings shoots it left corner. Benajan three. That one hit the side of the backboard. Offensive rebound. Jordan Jackson had it knocked out of his hands. And Shaw quickly to the other end. And Carr's got another dunk. And Joe Carr got 9.
Carr's got a little vertical there.
Seth, 3 right on the mark. Boy, Seth Wilson has found the shooting groove here in the second half of play. That's his first 3-ball tonight. He's got 22 overall. He leads all scorers. Shaw with the basketball. Runner in the lane, no good by Harris. Out of there with it, Jordan Jackson through the center circle. Fired it down the floor to Benajan, and it deflects off his fingers out of bounds. So for Lorain High right now, you've got Seth Wilson with 22. Devontae Jackson with 15. Deontay Benajan with 17, although Benajan has not scored here in the second half. 3-ball from the left wing is off by Isaiah Franklin. Down the floor, Benajan drives, scoops, and scores. Well, he must have heard me say he hadn't scored in the second half. And because now he has, and he's up to 19, and there's Devontae Jackson poking the ball free. Benajan, 3. Off the back of the rim, no good. Ball tipped to Wilson, 3, no. Rebound grab by Shaw. At the other end, knocked to the floor was Devontae Jackson. A little slow to get up. I think he's going to be all right. If you're just joining us earlier, Aaron Whitehead for Lorain High. Kind of knocked knees, it looked like, with one of the Shaw players, so he went to the locker room. Now Aaron Whitehead is back on that Titan bench. Both of his knees are wrapped in ice. That's usually a good sign, and I'm sure he'll get the rest of the night off. There's a 3-ball in and out. Rebound, Jameer Billings. Billings just working magic as he dribbled out of pressure. Gave it to Jordan Jackson. Left-handed finger roll, good. Jordan Jackson with a dozen. There's the century mark for Lorain High. 100-60. Left to the lane. Bank shot good and a foul for Randy Harris. Now, Joe Bach, I don't have Lorain's season results here in front of me. First time they've hit 100 this year? Yeah. That's always exciting. When you play high school basketball.
Yeah, 100 is a milestone in a game. But to score 100 with 5:32 remaining, there's a lot of ball game to play. Of course, it helps when you get 40 in the first quarter.
That generally will put you on the way. Free throw up and in for Randy Harris. So it's a 100-63 ball game. As Taco Lee is now in for Lorain High. He feeds it to a driving. That was Rashad Carter. I've got an 11 on the JV roster. Are we assuming that's the same young man?
I'm willing to assume it if you're willing to assume it.
Okay. Shot up, no good. Cam Thomas has checked in for Lorain as well. Ball tipped out of bounds over on the far side. 4:57 to go. One of the things that I've talked about over the years in covering John Rossitano, whether it was his first stop at Lorain, Admiral King, coaching girls at Amherst, and of course now back at Lorain with the boys, in a game like this, and he's been on the short side of a few, believe it or not, but he will coach this game right up until the final buzzer. A lot of coaches, you're up 40 with 4.5 minutes to go, kind of sit down, relax, talk to the players, talk to the assistants. John will coach this thing until that clock reads 0-0-0. And I asked him about that one time as the inbounds goes to Aidan Brown, and he's fouled on his way to the bucket. There's our good buddy Tony Jordan making a call. Is that Tony's first call tonight? He just kind of took a stroll up and down the gym floor. So Aidan Brown at the line shooting 2. But I asked John about that once. I said, man, you coach no matter what the spread, no matter what the score. And he said, you know what? The kids that are out there at the end of the game deserve to be coached as much as the starting 5 and the primary players. I never forgot that. I thought, boy, good for you. He'll coach them. He'll coach this group out here right now until that clock gets down to 0. Hence, John Rossitano has always had winning basketball programs because he does coach. There's a pass knocked out of bounds by Shaw. And he doesn't just casually coach, Gary. He coaches with intensity.
Yes, there's an intensity and an enthusiasm out there for sure.
The ball was inbounded to... Well, if the ball was inbounded to Shaw, why was that not just counted as a steal? Did you see what happened there, Gary?
I saw Stewart going the other way and nobody else was moving.
Billings left of the lane, hits the shot. Boy, nice night for Jameer. He's had 13. At the other end, 3 ball that misses for Sanders. And Shaw Cardinal ends up down on the floor. Foul will be called on Lorain. Well, it's not Rashad Carter. It's Javon Manning. I just heard the PA guy say Javon Manning. So he wears 0 on the JV level, but he wears 11 at the varsity level. Shot off the glass, no good. Shot left of the lane, short from Sanders. Billings, long pass down the floor, and Manning had it go out of bounds. Off his leg or off a Shaw Cardinal? It went off Shaw.
I think it was tipped out of bounds there. Shaw got a hand on it.
And now Tony Jordan directing traffic. That's about the hardest work Tony's done tonight. Come on in. Come on in. I love Tony, believe me. If word gets back to him about this, he's one of the great guys. Gary, we've seen him at all sports. He referees football. He referees basketball, umpires in baseball, and he's an outstanding official in all 3. So for those of you who are saying, hey, stop picking on Tony Jordan. He's a great guy. He's a good friend. Out front, 3 ball good from Samaj Stewart, and that'll bring a timeout on the floor. In fact, this will give me a nice opportunity to tell a great story about Tony Jordan as a baseball umpire. Last year, I had the privilege of going down to Akron to call state Final Four baseball for the OHSAA radio network, and Tony Jordan had a lot bigger honor than me. He was actually umpiring a state championship baseball game, and that's an honor at any sport. If you're a football official or basketball, when you get to call the state championship games, and I believe Tony has done that for football as well. That I'll have to check with him on. But anyway, he's doing a state championship baseball game. Hello, Tony. Look at he's waving to me. He doesn't even know I'm talking about him. Oh, wait till he sees this. Anyway, Tony, he has this baseball game, and it was the game before mine that I was doing for the OHSAA. And there was a big time play at home plate, and Tony was working the plate. And it was close. It was somewhat controversial, but Tony was dead on it, and he nailed the call. And here's a steal by Shaw. And laying it in is Pampley. And Tony Jordan, as I walked into the press box, now I didn't see the play live. I saw it on replay as I was coming into the press box. And, of course, down on the field, they can't see the replay. And all of the folks who were watching from the press box and observing said, man, that umpire was absolutely 100% accurate in that call. And it was Tony Jordan. And I'm like, hey, I know that guy. Free throw up, no good from Devontae Jackson. So, yeah, Tony's getting R&R tonight, but all in all, he's a great guy and he's a terrific official.
I would say he's getting a lot of action going up and down the court.
Yeah, he hasn't been the lead, I'll tell you that. Again, I'm kidding. So as the tie-up happens, and the basketball belongs to Shaw. This has been all Lorain tonight, and we've mentioned a couple of times, boy, did the Titans need this. They really did. So hopefully for John Rossitano's team, it will propel them into the home stretch as far as the regular season is concerned. Out front, Jackson. Jackson gives it off to Cam Thomas, and Thomas fouled as he went up. And it's funny, Gary, I talk about propelling a team. I remember in 2018, of course, Lorain High's run to the Final Four, that just improbable run that they got on during postseason, as Cam Thomas hits that first free throw. First point tonight for Cam. But I went over to Cleveland Heights to do a game at Cleveland Heights, Lorain High, taking on the Tigers, as Cam got a nice roll right there and hit the second.
He'll take that roll when he can get it.
Yep. And Lorain High got beat that night over at Cleveland Heights. And, of course, our dear friend, the late Troy DeFranco, and I did that game. And walking to the car that night, if you had told me that was the last game Lorain would lose until the state semifinal against Cincinnati Moeller. But they came out and they won the next game, and just one win led to another, and they got that momentum going. So, you know, is tonight the game that gets Lorain really rolling? We'll find out, but you just never know when it will happen or if it will happen. Lorain with the basketball. 2 minutes to go. 106-68. Billings got held. They're not going to call that with 2 minutes left. Here comes Shaw to the other end. Shot missed. Rebound fed underneath, and the shot off the glass is good by Carlos White. And as you alluded to, Pelt, they've got some big-time competition coming up, but they don't shy away from that. 3-ball missed by Lee. Loose ball grabbed by Billings, got it underneath to Thomas. That they will call.
Billings with a nice look, getting it to the man in the low block down there.
Well, again, Jameer with his first year here at Lorain High. Came over from Clearview. 5'10" junior. He's dynamic. He's an electrifying player. In fact, when I was here for the Cleveland Central game, as Cam Thomas hits the first, I was working that game with Jay Ferguson, and Jay told me that in Summer League, Jameer Billings was always the first player picked, as Cam Thomas hit them both, because nobody wanted to have him defending them. Nice running shot by Pampley. So it's 108-72. And Gary, this is going to be an historic night here in Lorain. Not only Lorain going well over 100 and hitting the school tying 8 3-balls in the first quarter. But for John Rossitano, tonight will be career win number 400.
Wow. That's an impressive milestone.
How about that? Congratulations, John Rossitano. First free throw for Manning around the rim and out. Davon Manning with one more coming. And now Aidan Brown will call it a night. Anybody know who number 4 is? I don't have that on my JV or freshman roster. In the meantime, Javon Manning hit them both. Or excuse me, split the pair. Javon split the pair. Boy, 400 wins. Think about that. Well, I mentioned earlier, he's just a great high school basketball coach, as White with a steal and a bucket to make it 109-74. Boy, Jameer Billings looking like Curly Neal out there with the dribbling, and they feed it down low, and the bucket is made. Damian McShepard, is that who I heard the PA folks say? Might have been McShepard. Shaw with a couple of misses, ball out of bounds. It still belongs to the Cardinals. Gary, I know fans and parents and the like, everybody has an opinion of a coach. For John Rossitano, the record speaks for itself. The resume speaks for itself. And you think about 400 wins, and that's just one of the aspects of his career. You think about the thousands, and I mean thousands of hours he has spent in a gymnasium with young men. And again, he was the girls coach over at Amherst, so the hours he spent there with the Lady Comets, the lives he's impacted. Sure, he's had success on the court, but it goes a lot deeper than that. It really does. We're down to 22 seconds to go.
And you got to coach a long time just to get to that many games.
Right, exactly. And he still has the energy. He still has the passion. And he just loves the game of basketball. And he loves the kids he coaches. Boy, things getting sloppy for Shaw. Up, under, missing Carlos White, and that will end it. So Lorain High snaps their 2-game losing streak as they come out of the gates red hot. Put 40 up in the first quarter, hitting 8 3-balls, which tied a school record for threes in a period. They led 40-9 at the end of one, and they never looked back. It was 65-37 at the half, 93-58 at the end of 3, and our final ends up being 111-74. Unofficially, my final stat sheet, I've got Seth Wilson with 19 for Lorain. Deontay Benejan also with 19. Benejan, I should say. Deontay Benejan with 19. Devontae Jackson with 15. Aaron Whitehead with 15. Jordan Jackson with 12. Jameer Billings with 13. I mean, it was just a great effort all around by the Titans tonight. 111-74. They crushed Shaw here at the Titan Gymnasium. We'll be back. We're going to wrap it all up on WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television, after this timeout.
Inspiring city and campus. Inspiring people. Inspiring creativity. Inspiring hands-on learning. Inspiring global experiences. Inspiring traditions. Be a Buckeye. Inspire.
Welcome back to Lorain High, where as Montel Jordan sings out, this is how we do it. Lorain High certainly did it tonight. 111-74. The Titans with an explosion here on their home floor. Boy, Gary Pelter, as we said, did the Titans need this tonight after 2 tough losses? And maybe this is the win that really springboards them into the month of February towards tournament time.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tim, that first quarter play, it seemed like the Titans couldn't do anything wrong. Offensively, they were getting everything to go down with 8 3-pointers, and defensively, they were causing all kinds of turnovers to end up with a 40-point first quarter of play, and they haven't. That's about what they've been scoring in games lately, let alone a quarter. They got off to a great start tonight and really never looked back.
And as I mentioned at the conclusion of the broadcast and really throughout the ball game, Gary, everybody contributed for Lorain. This wasn't a one-man wrecking crew tonight for the Titans, and certainly 111 points would demonstrate that. But everybody contributed. Everybody played a part in this, whether it was Seth Wilson or Benajan or Jameer Billings, both offensively and defensively. There were quality minutes from everybody on the floor tonight for John Rossitano's team.
Yeah, they came out and played a great game at home here, and the Shaw Ball Club that they played tonight was, according to what we had, 7-7 in tonight, coming into tonight's ball game, and they played okay the rest of the ball game, but that 40 points was just way too much to overcome for the Shaw Cardinals.
And as we mentioned, for Lorain High, leading the way, Seth Wilson. He had 22 points in the ball game, but quality minutes from everybody that was out there tonight. Deontay Benajan had 19. It was Aaron Whitehead with 15, and we hope he recovers. Looks like he kind of knocked knees out there. We think he'll be okay. Devontae Jackson with a 15-point ball game. So it really was a balanced effort tonight from Lorain High, and more often than not, that's what it's going to take. And again, huge congratulations goes out to John Rossitano, my good friend and the great head coach of Lorain High. Career win number 400 tonight. Gary, as we mentioned, what a testament to what he has done with high school basketball and high school basketball players here in Lorain County for a few decades now.
Yeah, congratulations out there to John. 400 is a huge milestone, and they did it in a big way tonight, and see if they got things turned around a little bit coming down the stretch here for the Titans.
John will find something in the film to complain about, but that's why he's won 400 games. All right, that's going to do it from the Titan Gym. Again, congratulations, John. That's awesome. 400 career wins. Gary Pelter, good to call a game with you again, my friend.
It's a pleasure. It's been a while.
It has been a while. That was a lot of fun. Of course, Joe Bach, B-O-C-K, behind the camera for WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television, does a marvelous job. Joe and I aren't done yet this year. We've got a couple of more things to put together for all of you who watch WLCS TV 20. So, Joe, you and I will see each other again, and hopefully the viewers, you and I will see each other again in the near future. But Lorain High with a big win tonight, 111-74. For Joe Bach, Gary Pelter, I'm Tim Elkhorn. Thanks for watching, and so long, everybody.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS.